This is going to be my entry into Gary's Grand Tate Gaming Competition video response. It's a response to Futurematt5's off the wall request for some videos from people as regards to looking at their Tate setups. So I'm sorry guys, but I'm not going to give you an immense hard on by showing you some old knackered out CRT. Guys, you've got to take this in jest, I don't mean this, well I do, but anyway, some knackered out CRT in a little pokey cupboard with some crappy joystick. Guys, I'm being really facetious, I don't mean it, I'm just having a laugh. Unless of course your name's Futurematt5, that I mean absolutely everything I'm saying and I'm really telling you the way it is. Now, only joking, Matt. It would be absolutely rude that if I didn't show you a bit more, perhaps a bit more detail really, and revisiting my Tate setup that I got, which, you know, of course I'm going to be shouting from the rooftops about it, because this to me is the only way that you should be playing anything Tate based. Play an arcade machine with a proper arcade monitor, a proper arcade control panel, you know, get your consoles hooked up to it, arcade PCBs, whatever. It's the real deal. So without further ado, I'm going to cut straight to actually showing you a bit more detail about my my Sega Naomi my Sega Naomi sit-down cabinet for some hardcore Tatari action. Here we have a Sega Naomi sit-down vertical cabinet. It's actually sitting next door to another Sega Naomi, but this one's a horizontal one, but we're not interested in that because this is all about the Tate Shiz. Right, now, in my opinion, and obviously I am going to be biased here, but this is the only way that I could ever see myself playing something in Tate mode. Okay, I'm being a bit of an arse there because, you know, not everyone can have a cabinet in their house. Not everyone's got the room to have one, and not everyone wants one. So, you know, I am being a bit of an anal tit there, but, you know, bear with me guys. This specific Sega Naomi is housing a gorgeous tri-sync monitor, so it will take various video signals from low res, medium res to high res. So I can plug in a 360 straight into this, an Xbox 360, sorry, straight into this. I can even plug in a arcade board, 15 kilohertz jammer board. I can plug in a 24 kilohertz jammer board. I can plug in a 31 kilohertz JVS Naomi type setup, which is actually what the cab is currently wired for. But I've got Jaomi. I've got a jammer appropriate loom adapters to run off various PCBs, so all that works and everything. But so basically, I suppose what I'm trying to get to is that this particular machine, the way this has been set up, this will run everything I want to throw at it. I mean, this is your full multi-purpose Tate setup. So let's run through some of the things that, before I start firing this up and showing you a bit more about the cabinet, let's run through some stuff here from Gary's video as regards to some of the things that he's going to be marking us on. In reality, we've got size. Well, you know, what does he mean by size? Well, to me, big is, you know, bigger the better. If it's small, get out of here, mate. We want nice and big. This monitor here is 29 inch of pure CRT sex. Yeah. Now this is a big monitor. This is a big monitor. And the size of the actual cabinet itself, you know, they are fairly big. They're not small. I don't know if I can get around the back. I've got all sorts of shiz down here on me old scalers and stuff, but yeah, you're not going to see much, to be fair. You can't see jack shit actually. So yeah, Location, well, to me you can't get a better location than this. It's in a room, it's got plenty of space around it, I can actually play it without looking like a twat. So to me, perfect location. Position of screen, well, it's an arcade machine, what else can I say? It is the absolute perfect. Oh Christ, I'm thinking dragging wires across the floor here on the back of this seat. Right, I'm actually sat down now at a small chair that I use to play this at, and it's perfect. I'm here, you know, sort of. It's quite strange actually. You look at this camera and you move up. I mean, that looks huge, doesn't it? I suppose my eyes are more or less sort of level with that. Yeah, that's about there. And if I try and push that back, it's not even halfway up the screen, and there's loads of dust on it. That's terrible. So it actually possibly looks like this thing's too big, and some people have said to me before on when they've tried to play this type of cabinet in Tate mode, they say, oh, it's way too big, it's way too big, we're not used to that, but you get used to it. I suppose that comment comes from people that are used to actually playing on a CRT as regards to a TV screen, which obviously are a lot smaller. Not many people are going to put a 29-inch CRT on its side. So yeah, it takes a bit of getting used to initially when you first start playing this this size of screen, but trust me, this is the absolute perfect positioning. Absolute perfect positioning. You know, in fact, you've got the proper, you know, you've got a proper arcade. I mean, it is an arcade machine, but you've got a proper arcade control panel. So you've got decent joystick, you've got decent buttons. It's all nicely laid out. You haven't got to balance anything on your lap. It's all sturdy. It's rock solid. This is the daddy, you know. Right, next point is versatility of setup. Yeah, well, in my opinion, I'm going to get 10 out of 10 for that, because this thing will play anything. Absolutely anything that I throw at it games wise, it will play anything that I've got anyway. Like I said, it will do arcade PCBs. I can use all of my consoles on this, and I've done various videos on that before, and they look absolutely awesome on the CRT screen, arcade monitor. So yeah, versatility at 10 out of 10. Right, how much you love your Tate gaming setup? Well, I'd have to be a bit of a spanner if, look, I'm a bit of a geek when it comes to this stuff, you know. I've got that machine there, I've got that machine there, I've got that machine there, and I've got the Sega Limburg machine there, and if I had some more space I would keep getting more and more machines. So, you know, do I love Tate gaming? I've got a dedicated machine just for Tate stuff, so that just shows you how hardcore that I'm actually am towards my Tate gaming stuff. So yeah, I suppose I'll give myself 10 out of 10 for that. Right, just a bit more really on the versatility side of it. Let's forget about all this shiz here, because this is just the you know, joystick and the buttons. Part of the way that I've adapted this particular cabinet is by means of the wiring loom for the control panel, you know, because all this goes to the control buttons. And what I've done is I've actually split the loom there, and I've got various hacks that I've made up for console control methods. So for instance, the PlayStation 2, I've got a PlayStation 2 loom that actually plugs straight into there. So it goes from PlayStation 2 into there. That shows the versatility. I'll do the same for my Xbox 360, because I find that and the PS2 are probably the two main consoles that actually play on these big CRTs. And I've done exactly the same from a horizontal cab as well, but I did it obviously from a vertical cab. So that just shows you the versatility that I've built into this. Something else for you real sort of anal people is that little board there, and that is used nearly all the time. That's a geometry board, a remote geometry board for the CRT chassis, and that enables me to actually change constantly if I want to, you know, for each game or PCB, the geometry settings. So I can change the vertical positioning, the horizontal positioning, the vertical horizontal hold, pin cushion, size vertical, size horizontal, all that stuff. and you normally find that you have to do that a lot, certainly for PCBs, because a lot of them are different resolutions, and it causes you problems with the screen display. So you have to adjust it for each type of PCB or resolution normally. And of course, when I flip between PCBs and my consoles, I have to change geometry again. On a CRT you can do that via a service menu, but it's an absolute pain in the ass. Obviously it's a lot easier just to open the control panel up and say, right, I want to twiddle that, twiddle this, job done, contrast, brightness, close it again, start playing. So again, that just gives you a bit of an insight there to the versatility of an arcade type setup. Right, so here we have Gallagher 88 by Namco PCB, running on the awesome Sega Naomi. Look at the look at that, look at that Shizzle. Now the reason why I'm particularly proud of this specific Tate setup is that shortly after getting this cabinet here, I actually went out and actually acquired a brand spanking new 29-inch arcade monitor for it. So I've got the original for a spare, but this is an absolute brand new CRT, so the only use it's had is the use that I've given it, which is only a matter of hours rather than years, where the original monitor would have been stuck in an arcade for a while. But yeah, so this is an absolute brand new monitor, and the monitor alone cost me about £350 for a brand new tri-sync monitor. So that's how hardcore I was, because I wanted the absolute perfect picture for my Tate setup. So yeah, let's see if we can start the game off. I'm not going to bother paying this because I can't play and film at the same time. Look at that beauty. So then, Gary, you can stick that in your pipe and duly smoke it. That is my submission for your Tate video response.